Greetings, fellow Gorehounds, and welcome back to a Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru.
I'm Count Jackula.
And today we're going to talk about the monkey.
Shot the monkey. Shot the monkey.
From writer-director Osgood Perkins of The Black Coat's Daughter and Longlegs fame. This movie is based on the Stephen King short story of the same name, The Monkey. There's quite a few differences between the short story and this big screen adaptation, though. The first and most obvious one being the monkey in the original short story was a cymbal monkey, and the monkey in the movie is a little drummer boy monkey. And I was reading an interview with Osgood Perkins, and it turns out the reason why is because, as he was told, the cymbal monkey is copywritten because of the cymbal monkey in Toy Story 3. So they had to change it into a drummer monkey for the sake of this film adaptation, which, according to Osgood Perkins, ended up being kind of a godsend because he could think of all these cool little camera angles for like the drummer monkey.
It ended up working, but there's a part of me that's like, for real?
Yes.
For real?
For real.
I thought it was like copywritten by the person who originally designed it or something.
No.
Toy Story? Fuck you.
Yup.
Fuck Disney. Jesus Christ.
Yep, absolutely. This movie is about two brothers, Hal and Bill. Hal and Bill, unfortunately, inherit their father's toy monkey.
Yeah.
A monkey they quickly realize that when wound up will Final Destination style kill a random person of its own choosing. And I do mean of its own choosing because this isn't some like force of nature. This is an evil fucking monkey.
Yeah. It will just kill somebody.
It will just kill somebody, and it won't be who you want it to, which is something they find out also very quickly. They can't just Death Note someone with it.
Right. In the original story is about a young boy and his father who discovered the monkey, and this movie still has that element to it.
It's there. They get it from the father.
Yeah.
But this one's more about the brothers?
Yeah, this one's more about brothers.
Absolutely. The other thing this movie is about is, and it feels weird to say because almost all horror movies are about this, but this movie really is a meditation on death itself.
Yeah.
Not just because people die in the movie. This movie's literally about like the after effects of death and the long-term ramifications of losing loved ones. This movie doesn't just follow them as kids, it follows them well into adulthood, where they're still kind of dealing with the traumas of having lost their parents at a young age.
Yeah.
They didn't realize that they lost their father because of the monkey, but they absolutely realize when they lose their mother because of the monkey, because they're the ones who wound it up. That becomes a very interesting theme throughout the movie, actually leading to a rather uplifting message by the end of the movie.
Yes.
A bittersweet one, but it's still rather uplifting.
Like a good Osgood Perkins movie, like the last shot of the film is kind of what everything's been leading to.
We'll talk more about that in the spoiler section because I don't want to give too much away because the ending of this movie is perfect. But what I can say is this movie is utterly hilarious. It's not a deadpan sense of humor, but it's a very dark sense of humor.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised at how funny it actually was.
Yeah.
It actually is a horror comedy.
It is a movie constantly making the anxiety around death hilarious itself. Yeah. Because these characters are constantly on the verge of like near panic attacks in every scene. They're panicking in and of itself, and the way they interact with things and the things that happen to them is just funny.
There's also this thing that the movie does that was also done in the movie Heathers, which is someone dies, quick cut to the funeral and the priest.
Yes.
You know, and in Heathers, it's the guy who played Otho in fucking Beetlejuice. The way that life can suck! You know, whereas in this one, it's like this young stoner priest.
Oh yeah. I love the editing of the first half of this movie. The whole movie is edited very well, but the first half of this movie, the speed at which it cuts from someone dying to the funeral just speeds up each death until it's eventually instantaneous. Yes. And by the time it reaches that point, it eventually cuts to like 20 years later.
Yeah.
When the kids are now adults and barely functioning because of all the trauma they endured as kids.
Yeah. The twin brother in this movie is just an asshole.
Yeah, Bill
Bill is just an asshole.
He really is. And he's an asshole at the beginning, too.
Yeah.
So he doesn't grow into being an asshole. He's just a bully for life, apparently. Mm-hmm. And Hal is the bullied, nerdy brother of the far more jockey asshole brother, who grows up to be a very insecure, anxious man who has a kid of his own now, but is a terrible dad because of all his insecurities.
Yeah.
He is worried that he is going to traumatize his kid with this monkey eventually, the way his dad ended up traumatizing them with the monkey by passing it on to them unintentionally. So he wants to keep the kid at an arm's length, which leads to him being a pretty bad dad. But his kid really wants to be with his dad. That's where they take the element from the short story and kind of twist it into its own thing in this movie.
Yeah.
The father-son thing. How do you tell your kid there's like a killer drummer monkey?
Yeah, like that's a hard one to figure out.
As the movie showcases, when they reach the point where he has to tell him, like, the kid is like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
The other
looks
thing
at him like he's crazy, as he should.
I also fucking love the dialogue in this movie. It was also written by Osgood Perkins, and I did not realize he was so capable of writing such funny-ass dialogue. Because his other movies, like Longlegs, Blackcoat's Daughter, those are like uber serious movies, right?
Super serious
They have
movies.
some funny moments here and there, but they're very serious, kind of deadpan movies.
Yeah.
Like the moment Osgood Perkins himself shows up as like the swinger hippie uncle.
Yeah.
It has that whole like, your aunt and me really didn't want to have kids, so I'm just gonna tell you that we're gonna do our best by your boys, but our best is gonna be pretty bad.
Yeah.
I love this script.
He's got his dad's talent for acting. Yeah.
Obviously, we're only 2 months into the year 2025, but as it stands right now, this right here is my favorite movie so far.
Yeah.
I adore the monkey.
It's a crowd pleaser.
It's a crowd pleaser. It's hilarious. It's well written. It's actually very profound in its message by the end of it.
Yeah.
And it's gory as all fuck. This
Yeah.
movie becomes a splatterfest at a certain point, and I appreciate that. I didn't think...
Blood is funny.
But it's funny. It's funny. A mom has her baby carriage on fire and is running down the street. But wait, it gets funnier. That's basically what this whole movie is. Let's take a fucked up scenario, but then like twist it in such a way to where it now becomes funny. Because that like pool scene where the girl jumps into the pool and dies, there's ways you could have filmed that would have been horrific and tragic.
Yeah.
But instead, it's filmed like a punchline.
Yeah.
And when it happens, we'll talk about it in the spoiler section, I laughed my ass off.
Yeah.
Because I saw that setup in the trailer, and I didn't realize where it was going to go in the final movie.
Yeah.
That's another thing I want to note. If you've seen the trailer for this movie, there's a couple deaths in the trailer that do happen in the movie, but the trailer actually stops before the best part of the deaths.
Yeah.
When you see the movie, you'll get what I'm talking about. In the pawn shop where they're trying to pawn off the monkey to the pawn guy, the scene in the trailer kind of shows you how someone dies in that scene.
Yeah, somebody's gonna die, there's an arrow involved.
There's way more to that. There's way more to that. It's like someone combined Final Destination with Saw levels of fucking contraptioning happening.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild.
One of the weirdest things about this movie is that it's set in the 90s and 2024. That is the most 70s, 90s I have ever seen.
I was thinking that while watching the movie because, like, the only time it feels like the 90s is when he's in class.
Yeah.
When he's actually at school and the kids are wearing some of the more 90s garb, that felt 90s. Which I guess gives it a bit of a timeless quality because they don't really use cell phones even when he's in 2025.
No, they don't. Everyone's still using those wall phones.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
We didn't even talk about the guy playing the dual roles of his brother.
Oh yeah, playing his brother and having such distinct performances that you forget it's the same guy.
Yeah,
he's really good. He did a really good job with that.
He's excellent.
So The Monkey is currently available in theaters. I highly recommend you go check it out if you want to see what's probably going to be one of the best horror movies of the year. It certainly is the best one so far, in my opinion. With that said, let's move on to the spoiler section so we can talk about all the stuff that is too spoilery to talk about.
Talk about the monkey shines.
The monkey shines. Shock the monkey.
Shock ma!
Here we go. When I said earlier that the death scenes are a lot more than what they show in the trailer, I'll give you 2 examples of that. So you saw that scene in the trailer where they're in the pawn shop and that like arrow shoots through the guy. In the movie, that arrow goes through the guy's stomach. Then the mechanism pulls it back, pulling his intestines out of his stomach across the room, creating a stream of intestines decorating the room.
Yeah.
The girl who jumps in the pool that's been electrified, she just fucking explodes.
Well, yeah. Yeah, she hits the water, bang!
Spontaneously combusts. Her limbs fly everywhere.
Oh my God.
And those are just 2 examples of how more fucked up the deaths are in the final movie versus what you think is gonna happen in the trailer.
Yeah, pretty funny.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty great. I love it. So the big twist in this movie is that it turns out the monkey doesn't entirely come back on its own. The monkey has returned because the brother specifically has been trying to get it to return.
Yeah, he's been trying to get it back.
He wants the monkey back specifically because back when they were kids, it was his brother who turned the monkey on that resulted in their mom dying.
Yeah.
Now, when he did this, he was doing this because he wanted to kill the brother, because the brother had essentially bullied him in school. So his life is basically miserable because of his brother. So he has a Death Note moment. It's like, I'm going to turn the monkey on because I'm pretty sure the monkey killed our babysitter, who was Annie Wilkes.
Annie Wilkes.
That was a nice little shout out to Stephen King.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the monkey killed our babysitter. So I'm going to do this and I'm going to have it kill my brother because my brother's an asshole. And to be honest, I can't blame him.
Yeah.
But it ends up killing their mom instead, who is honestly like the best mom ever. She's like, like fed up with the world goth mom, but she's like also like loves her kids.
Yeah.
And there's like these great moments where it's just like, yeah, someone died. Let's go dancing.
Yeah.
Or my favorite line in the movie, honestly, besides the uncle's line, where the brother sees that the monkey has appeared in the room after he got rid of it. Mom, why'd you put Dad's monkey in my room? Honey, you know I don't go in there ever since I found that stiff sock.
Yeah.
But anyway, the asshole bully brother has spent 25 years scheming to kill his other brother for killing their mom. That's the big twist at the end of this movie, because he never got over the mom dying.
Right.
Partially because she died right in front of him, and partially because she's about the only person who ever really loved him because he was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And an asshole. The finale of this movie involves one brother having to try to stop the other brother from essentially killing everyone in town trying to kill him. When my brother turned the key, he killed mom. So maybe if my brother's son turns the key,
it'll kill him.
It'll kill him.
If you're like, this sounds like he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't.
No, he is a fucking moron.
Yeah.
And he's kind of insane.
Yeah.
Too. He spent 25 years scheming on this, so he's absolutely nuts.
This does not work.
This doesn't work, no. What ends up happening is they just end up pissing off the monkey, and like planes start falling out of the sky. Explosions are happening in the distance. This town is just in ruin by the end of this. It's like apocalypse fucking now.
The last kill in the movie is that bus full of cheerleaders.
Yeah. Okay, so there's this weird moment that I don't...
This is the most Osgood Perkins moment.
Oh yeah, it's like complete dark humor. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's hilarious. So this town has been experiencing so much death, and there's like cheerleaders outside cheering.
Yeah.
When the real estate lady is killed. And then at the end of the movie, when they're trying to drive out of the town with the monkey after his brother's been killed by the monkey, and he's kind of reached equilibrium with everything that's happened between him, the monkey, and his brother.
They realize they can't actually get rid of the damn thing.
Yeah.
Bus full of cheerleaders comes in, gets sideswiped by another bus, dead cheerleaders.
Dead cheerleaders.
Row of them in a bus.
Because they're all sticking their heads out and like doing like a cheer outside the window. And so they all get decapitated. Hal and his son drive off with the monkey in tow, basically coming up with a plan that, okay, so we are going to take care of this monkey. We are never going to turn it, but we're going to make sure it can't hurt anyone else.
Yeah.
They finally have come together to do something as father and son, and it is the one thing that he wanted to keep from his son above all else.
Yep.
And he has learned to live with death.
Yeah.
You can't stop death. It's going to be all around you, and it's going to happen your whole life. All you can do is learn to live with death and try not to be the cause of it.
Yeah. The weirdest moment in this movie happens at the very end. They go to an intersection, a crossroads, if you will, and coming down the opposite street is literally Death on a pale horse.
Now, mind you, this is actually set up by 2 lines in the movie.
But just that whole sequence of like, Death shows up and you're like, this is not fucking happening. No, this is not happening. Okay, it's happening.
Yup.
You know, he meets Death and Death doesn't say anything. He's just like, sup.
And then he moseys out of town.
Guy drives forward.
I adore this movie. It's dark sense of humor. I love the gore in this movie. And just overall, I just love the movie's wacky energy. And so with that said, my fellow gorehounds, where can they find you, Count Jackula?
Well, you can find me here on YouTube, where I stream at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time pretty much every weekday.
Y'all know me. I'm the Horror Guru. You can find me on various social media platforms. But these days, I primarily use Blue Sky, so follow me on there. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you're notified of my videos immediately upon their upload. And if you'd like to help out either of us more directly, be sure to check out our Patreon pages. And remember, if you decide to go the Patreon route, even $1 a month can go a long way, but we will certainly accept more. With that said, my fellow gorehounds, if you comment below, I want you to comment below. Be sure to comment below using the hashtag symbolism with a C. That way Jack knows, that way the whole world knows that you know the original short story had a cymbal monkey and not a drummer monkey. Screw you, Disney.